Everybody ready to go? Okay, we'll go ahead and start with Georgia Tech head coach Jeff Collins. First weekly press conference, weekly game week press conference ahead of next Monday night's opener in the Chick-Fil-A Kickoff Game against Clemson down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So, Coach, if you'd like to open us up with a statement before we take questions.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming out. Good workout here today. 2 good preparation days for the matchup in 6 days against 4th-ranked Clemson. Excited about the way the guys are working, but we still got a lot of work to get done before, as Andy Demetra says, toe meets leather. And I don't know if you guys noticed today, the Flutie Foundation came out. They brought jersey mics with them for the team afterwards. They're an organization that funds people with autism in the workforce. And we've got somebody on our staff, a valued member of our staff, Zach Henderson, in the video department, and was honoring him. They followed him around for some footage, but just really proud to be associated with that organization and being able to recognize Zachary and all that he does day in and day out for this organization. So with that, I know the ATL depth chart, I see you guys looking over it. It must be hot off the presses. But the biggest point with the team is, obviously we don't talk about injuries or anything like that. But the key term I use with the whole team, because we're a developmental program, is the word yet. And it's, the guys desire to be getting playing time, earning playing time, whether that be offense, defense, or special teams. And this is just a starting point for the season. By no means is it an ending point for anybody. Everybody on this roster has unbelievable value, helps this organization in huge ways. So all the love and respect that we have for everybody in their development is applied every single day. So this is just a starting point. And, we've got a lot of work to do before we get to Monday night in Mercedes-Benz. So.
We'll take questions. If you can, raise your hand so we can get you a microphone. We'll start with Rod.
Jeff, when you look at the ATL, did you use the same criteria that you used in the past, or have you maybe narrowed down the focus a little bit to keep maybe some of your better players, on the field more?
No, that's a great question. The ones that have made it on there for right now, and obviously that can still there's ebbs and flows as we go throughout the game plan and we go throughout the practice. But it's a starting point, and we've told them all along, there's a lot of competition at every single position. And there's competition for reps, competition for playing time, competition for contributions that'll be made. And that's a work in progress every single day. And our guys understand that. And, the way we'll play the roster will be, finalized. What'll be Sunday of this week. Normally it's Friday, but it'll be Sunday. And we have our big playing the players meeting with all the coaches, and they go in detail how we're going to play the game at their position. And every position is going to be different relative to the competition at those spots.
Not to jinx you, but this seems like this is the healthiest you guys have been going into game one, just in terms of guys
Sure.
that you would project in your 2 deep or 3 deep or whatever. Is there anything in particular you can point your finger to? Is it just luck? Is it, just strength and conditioning work?
Yeah, I think just the partnership that we have with our strength conditioning, the training room, the nutrition, all the support that we've been given to invest in some certain technologies, all of that plays a part. And, I'm sure luck plays a part in it as well. But just the biggest piece is every single day trying to prepare our athletes and our players at the highest level, hopefully injury-free, and to be a very well-conditioned, very physical, competitive group, and as healthy as we can possibly be going into each game.
Got it.
Andrew said last week about how he foresaw, and I think this is something I'm sure you had input on, about probably playing the starters more on defense, and whereas before there was an emphasis on getting backups in and rotating
Sure.
and so forth. And, I think that's something you would make a point of in terms of, making sure that guys that were backups knew they could start and could practice hard.
Right.
I'm curious what prompted that change and deciding to go heavier with the starters.
Well, I think the biggest piece is as we've continued to build and grow the program, just certain positions, there's maybe a bit of a gap And then, as long as the guys can play and are competing and contributing at a high level, at some positions, we're going to be able to roll, with those guys staying on the field, a longer period of time. But it all depends on the way the game flows, the week of preparation, how ready certain guys are to contribute at a high level, and, weigh those factors throughout the course of the game and throughout the course of the week as well.
Looking at Clemson now, not often you see a team with two new coordinators, same head coach, and really they have relatively stable roster compared to most people in the portal era.
Right.
Just how do you prepare for that? Kind of what do you look at to figure out maybe what they might change or tweak schematically? How similar do you think it'll be?
Well, I think one of the biggest things you look at is the amount of success that they've had on both sides of the ball. They've got great players in the organization, across every position on their roster. And, the things that, have been successful, we go through all of the spring game footage as well, just to see any nuances that might have been added or taken away. But just, the biggest piece is the players and, when Coach Swinney makes such a decision, obviously he respects and values those people that he's elevated, and they know the system inside and out, and the system has been very successful for him with really good players. Obviously, we've got to be ready to adjust in game to any new things, any novelties that arise that may have been different from years past. But it starts with the players, and they've got really good players across the board.
Reggie over here.
Coach, heading into another year, I'm curious, where do you kind of feel like this team is as compared to maybe other last seasons at this point heading into a year, especially going against a foe like this? That's
Sure.
Be really,
I just think, and I've said it before, that just the, having an opponent like this to open up the season with, and obviously it's well documented, how strong the schedule is as well. I think it just narrows your focus throughout the entire offseason, throughout the summer, throughout preseason camp. I think this team has an edge, has a demeanor about themselves, has a focus about themselves, but that's got to continue to build until we get to game time to make sure that we're playing at a high level and our guys are performing and competing at their highest. And, the whole goal is to make everybody that loves Georgia Tech football very proud of the way that they play and the way they compete and the way they represent everybody that's played here before, the way they play and the way they carry themselves.
David.
Yeah, Coach, can you just talk about, the atmosphere Monday night opening up Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
Yeah, it's going to, we were in there last year, and obviously we've got a run of these games for years to come. Tremendous atmosphere. We took the guys to Atlanta United game because we have so many newcomers on this roster. We didn't want the first time they were in the Benz to be a game that they're playing in. So the guys have gone into it. But, it was a great environment last year. Really thankful for the way our fans supported our players and supported our team. They showed up in a big way. And, we understand it's going to be a great environment. We've been playing crowd noise in every single team period. We've been doing it every special teams period this week as well, because we know the kind of environment that we're walking into, and I try to get the guys ready as much as we can for Monday night.
When you watch Clemson last year, it seemed like their offense got better when Shipley got 100% healthy, and he's a guy that you really have to watch on the perimeter, I imagine.
Yeah, he's a really good player, and really, we watched as we introduced the team, their offense to our defense is just the quality that they have at all the skill positions, and the way the quarterback, the things that they're saying about how he's dropped weight and all those kind of things. He's a dangerous runner, throws a nice deep ball, runs that offense when it's clicking. I think they won 6 straight last year to end the season. And, so we've got our hands full. They're a really good offense, and they've got really good skill players, and they've got 4 returning starters up front that we've got to compete against. So the guys understand it, and they're working every single day to be ready.
we talked a lot over the last 8 months about handling adversity and playing through that. And
Yep.
obviously, you guys showed that last year at Clemson. Is that something that you try to carry over this week? Do you even talk about the game last year at all with them, or is it?
It obviously it shows up in the cut-ups, but the biggest thing is this is a whole new team that we have, and the biggest thing is us getting ready to play together at a high level. And I think the messaging, the way we've talked internally, and the way our guys have talked is just understanding, that nothing's easy, and that you've got to fight through things, and there's going to be situations that arise, and how we handle the hard things will say a lot about us and how we can overcome that. And, so we've been working toward those ends. We've been having those conversations, that handling adversity, responding to things at a high level. And then obviously when you get in those kind of environments and that kind of stadium, and it's the only show in town on Monday night, how you can handle adversity, respond, and then also how you handle when we have some success, and making sure we just stay focused one play at a time, all those things. But that's been the things that the guys have been talking about themselves, and so use that hopefully to our advantage.
A lot of people talk about changing over programs. This is the first year, I think, where you'd have your 2020 class. That was your first real class here, and they should be contributing. Is this where the turning point is in your mind, a little bit of what you expect in terms of offensively and defensively to see the Jeff Collins football?
Yeah, I mean, there's really proud of the way the guys, have come together. And, obviously there's a lot of newcomers that have been added throughout this offseason. There's been a lot of football that's been played, by the Kyle Kennards and Jordan Williams, Jeff Sims, obviously, and on. I could keep going. But, the big focus is just ourselves getting ready to play a high-quality opponent in a big-time venue. And, those kind of conversations are for other people to have. I'm just focused on this team and getting them ready to play at a high level.
I'll follow up on that. In your mind, you've seen this team now, throughout preseason. Is this a team you think can get to a bowl game?
I appreciate the question, Ken. And obviously our aspirations, we have high aspirations. We have high internal goals that we talk about a lot. But it's every single day how we handle our business, how we come into the building, how we come out to practice, how we compete and work every single day, and just continue to stack those days throughout the year. And, I don't want to be cliche at all, but it's every single day matters. Every single game matters. And I think our guys have that mindset, that attitude. And if we can continue that and work at a high level the right way, then we'll be able to accomplish the internal goals that we have for ourselves. And that's what we're working toward every single day.
Right.
Each season, it seems like there's a walk-on that steps up and gets everybody's attention. And you look at the above the line now and you see Taylor McCauley. What can you tell us about him?
I don't know. How long do I have? He is he's everything that's good and right about college football. He is just a selfless player. He's a really good player. He's basically our captain on special teams. He's a vital part of our linebacking core, and just attitude, demeanor, toughness, preparation, selflessness every single day. I don't know if there's a player on the team that doesn't just value and respect all that Taylor McCauley does and all that he means to this organization. And there's a lot of them that are in that same conversation. I would add Dalen Gordon is another young man. He's a running back that, is probably going to end up. I don't know. I don't know if he's on the ATL depth chart or not, but he's probably going to contribute in a big way at some point this year, special teams and even at running back. Joe Fusel. He's on the ATL depth chart, right? That's a redshirt freshman, walk-on offensive lineman that has just come in and worked really, really hard, to put himself in that position. and another one is Jason Moore is another walk-on defensive lineman that just every single day, his attitude, his demeanor, his work ethic, his selflessness, who he is as a teammate in the locker room. I think Jason Moore has 38 reps at 225 on the bench press. It's him and Keon right there. And obviously we all know what a special player Keon is. But there's story after story of, walk-ons that just contribute, do everything the right way, are highly valued, highly respected in this organization. And there's obviously more that I'm not even talking about, but those are four that just they mean so much to me. They mean so much to everybody in this organization.
We'll bring the microphone over here to Patrick, please.
Coach, since you've been here, you've touted these highly visible games, big national stage, big time opponent. You got one Monday night.
Yep.
How do you go about playing that up to your players, but at the same time, maybe gently playing it down a little bit?
Yeah, I think all of our guys know, what a great opponent it is. They all know the stage that they're going to be placed upon. And just the biggest piece is just the daily focus on getting yourself ready to play at a high level and understanding the challenge that you have ahead of you. And, I think that mindset permeates, the whole organization. I don't think you have to make it bigger than it is because great players, great coaches, great environment. The only show that's on TV, all of those things are in line. But the biggest piece is just preparing every single player at a high level, preparing the organization to compete at a high level. And, that's what we're focused on doing all the way until we get to 8:00 next Monday night.
Chip spoke about the offensive side of the ball and kind of where they're going to be placed on game days. Defensively, who's on the field and who's in the box?
Yeah, so up in the box, offensively, Mike Daniels, running backs coach, will be up there, and then Jason Seymour will be up in the box on defense, and all the GAs will be up there as well. But the rest of the full-time coaches will be down on the field.
I was hoping you could tell us a little bit your thoughts about the matchup of Clemson's defensive line and your offensive line. Obviously, for Clemson, it's a strength.
Sure.
Your guys don't have a ton of time together, or
Right.
some of them, just being on the field. How do you look at that aspect?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's arguably the best front four in college football, and I don't know how much of an argument there is on the other side. They're really good. They're really good players, and then they play really, really hard as well. They got a scheme suited for, for the defensive line to make an impact. Obviously, we know we've got our work cut out for us, and Coach Key's worked really, really hard. Developing and making sure the right matchups or the right way we line up is complementary so that we can have some success. But we know it's a big challenge. They're really, really good players, and they have depth as well across their front. And so it's a challenge, and our guys know it's a challenge, and they got to come out every single day and work to be ready to play at a high level.
Time for a few more for Coach. Over here with Patrick.
Coach Collins, you got a few players on your roster who were on their roster a year ago.
Yep.
Is that any strategic help of any sort?
Tyson Pumachan played quarterback there. Very fortunate that we have him in our organization. Not only is he a really good player, but has been a great member, a great addition to the organization. And then, Paul Teo has come in and excited about his contributions as well across the offensive line. But just the conversations, out of respect, I don't want to put them in a compromising position. But the biggest thing is just we're so glad they're part of our team, part of our family, and, just trying to get ready to work. I know they've got close relationships on the other sideline as well. So I just try to be respectful of that, and I'm just glad that they're both here on our team working every single day at a high level.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you, guys.
Coach.
Appreciate it. Is there any jersey mics for him?
Excuse me.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you all.